the shadows of the mind where secrets hide. We dive into the dark where truth collides. Forensic minds unravel the twisted thread. True crime tales from the living and the dead. Why did they do it? To help, for love, in anger, or insane? Who will remember them? Who is to blame? The victims deserve justice. The guilty should be until the end of time. Echoes of the past in every crime.
All right, everybody. I'm back, right? There's nothing like things changing and happening moment to moment. I do have a question though. Can you hear that noise in my background, or can you hear my voice? So if the background noise is too much, I can change something, but just let me know. If I need to turn off that loud noise in the background, put a 1. If it sounds okay, put a 2. Okay, okay, very nice. Okay, thank you so much. Hey, Paul Boone, Moonlight View, Kathy, great to see you guys. Yeah, so it's the old saying, right? If you come for the king, you better not miss. What does that mean? It means if you try to hurt the king, if you try to assassinate the king, you will ultimately be the one that pays the ultimate price. It will be you that dies, correct? It is a veiled threat. In a very poetic and lyrical way, correct? And I'll tell you what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to take that old saying and I'm going to make a song about it because I think it's, apropos for all that we know right now. Hope Diamond. I hope you enjoy my desktop with that big fat diamond in the front of it. Okay. So now it is bad. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Hold on. Let me do something about this background noise. And I'll just put a little bit of song on so you're not bored. I'll be right back.
Woke up at dawn with the pelicans in flight. Coffee brewing strong by dawn's early light. Waves whisper secrets to my open heart.
Okay, sorry about that.
This water gets me off to a great.
So sorry about that. Now, at least I won't have to scream over the sound. Hi, Shaylee. Shaylee, your videos it's so beautiful. I don't know where you are in the world, but it is lovely. So, okay. So, I am not the one who pulled this saying out of the archives of my mind. Lori Hellis actually, she is the one who says it during this live. Now, one of the reasons that I'm motivated to do this right now, and please, everybody, let me put it here. Okay, this is the link to this video, Lori Hellis's video. So if you guys will keep it out there, to refer everybody to her channel, then, that's the right thing to do. So the reason that I want to do this is this. I noticed that the live, it came back up during the time when I was previously live. And I made a comment that Lori put this up and that she had since taken it down, maybe on reflection. Maybe she decided she didn't want that information out there, whatever. And I don't know if she was listening to my live earlier. I don't know if it was just weird timing. Maybe it was just timing, right? But in the event that is why she put it up, was because I was kind of snarky about it, then I apologize, Lori. And I think it should be listened to. I think the right thing to do is to hear both sides of the story. And I I definitely think 9 hours of information compared to, I don't even remember how much minutes, like 7 minutes. I think that is fair. You know what I mean? So I do think that that it's the right thing to do, to put both sides out there. And, Lori, I'd be happy if you wanted to come on the channel and have a discussion, or, whatever you want to do. It's good. But I just want to be really fair. I don't ever want to be in the same situation that I was in regarding Brittany J. I never want to go through that again. And so I really, really, really want to treat all people that are involved in this with as much possible respect as I can. So equal time, right? Because I did take time to correct the record where Dr. John is concerned, and he's 100% legit. He's on the up and up. Lori Hellis's name was definitely mentioned during the 9-hour live, and right is right. Okay. I do have a question though. If you come for the king, you better not miss. I'm left with the question, who the hell is the king? Like, who's the king in this drama? I can't even make a guess who the king would be. I don't know how anyone at all benefits out of this entire hullabaloo. And like I said, this is like a 7 or 8 minute statement. And so we're going to listen and comment, because we should hear the whole story. And I knew that when I first saw Lori Hellis, I knew that it was on Hidden True Crime. I just didn't realize that they had worked together for a year. So that is really, that is a long relationship, but professional, right? So, yeah, so we're going to listen. All right.
Okay, on this recording.
Oh, let me go back. Sorry. Here we go.
Hi, everybody. I want to talk today on this recording about a little true crime community drama. Air out our dirty laundry, so to speak. There is a particular YouTube creator who is stirring up lots of drama by weaponizing the law and law enforcement to target her competition.
Okay. Now, is it really is it really a competitive issue? Remember, I'm trying to figure out who the damn king is. Paul is king today. King Paul is here. Okay. So I want to know who the king is, right? That's me. My immediate reaction, who's king? I have no idea who the king is other than King Paul. Paul is king any day. But I'm a little confused about competition. It is the idea that is it the idea that Lauren, Hidden True Crime, that Lauren is in competition with who? Christina or Lori? I don't know that, but it's hard to make sense of it for me, because it seems like if you've got a channel with 300,000, nearly 350,000 people, is it accurate to say they're competing against someone who's got, let's say, 10,000 subscribers? Okay, so Moonlight View feels the same way. It doesn't really feel competitive, does it? It's kind of not even I mean, it would be more like, if you were going to look at it like a competition, wouldn't you look at it kind of like a high school football team against the Super Bowl winner, right? Most people never even reach 100,000 on their YouTube channels, and together Lauren and Dr. Matthias have amassed nearly 350,000 subscribers. They get the same number of views as ABC News. I don't know that I feel like this is competition. If I had a channel that was that big, I'm not talking about the financial money part of it, but if it was that big, I mean, that's a lot of influence, right? Over 350,000 people, that is a lot of influence. I would not even be looking at smaller channels. Not because they weren't worth anything, but just because there's so many of them, and your channel is one that most of the community is going to watch. I don't know. It just seems, I could be wrong though. Maybe I'm wrong. I own it. Please, y'all, please share Lori's link to this video, please.
She can't do that. You know how I know? Because I studied the Constitution and defamation law in law school.
Okay, so she's telling you she's an attorney.
There is a particular YouTube creator who is stirring up lots of drama by weaponizing the law and law enforcement to target her competition. She can't do that. You know how I know? Because I studied the Constitution and defamation law in law school. Remember, I'm a lawyer.
And so does that mean that Brittany J, with all of her cease and desist at night and their NDAs, does that mean they're not allowed to do that? Is that, I don't know. I'm asking a question for discussion and consideration. I don't know the answer to that.
Talk about defamation and free speech. The U.S. Constitution and all 50 states protect speech. Congress shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech or of the press. That's in our First Amendment.
Right.
Free speech is so important that there are literally hundreds of cases reiterating the right of citizens to speak freely. Now, the courts have put some guardrails up around speech. For example, you can't yell fire in a crowded theater. It's not a violation of your free speech to prohibit obscene content from being distributed to people under 18. and you can't threaten someone with violence. However, in 2023 in Counterman versus Colorado, the U.S. Supreme Court wrote, although true threats of violence are outside the bounds of the First Amendment protection, the First Amendment requires proof that the defendant had some subjective understanding of the threatening nature of their statement. In other words, it's not enough for the complainer to say they felt threatened. Although most of the cases deal with when the government can curtail free speech, all those rulings apply to private citizens as well. So, what recourse does someone have? Well, it's a suit for defamation. But let's be clear, it's a high bar to jump because of our reverence for freedom of speech. In order to prove defamation, a plaintiff has to prove that the content was untrue and the defendant knew or should have known that it was a lie.
Okay, so that's a standard that must be met, right? That if let me think of an example. If I come out and I said, let's say that there's a YouTube creator named Bob, okay? And Bob, the creator, is out here and talking about how he's so great because his mom was so great. And he grew up in a mansion with all the perks of money and, and I come out here on my channel and I say, Bob's a liar. Bob's mother was in the penitentiary for life for killing Bob's dad. And Bob was actually born in prison and raised by his grandmother. Well, if Bob comes back later and says, okay, I'm going to sue you, you better quit saying that story. I'm going to come back and I'm going to sue you. Then I'm going to have to prove that I knew that what I was saying was a lie when I said it. Does that make sense? Like I have to know that I'm telling a lie about Bob in order for Bob's defamation case to work. So that's all fine and dandy if I'm just being a heifer and, I don't know anything about Bob and I don't know how to prove that I do know, in fact, that his mom was in the penitentiary. If I, then I could get in a lot of trouble. But if I actually have reason to believe that what I'm saying is true, let's say I have a grandma who was in prison and she claims to know Bob's mother and that she told my mother or grandmother that Bob was born in the prison. Well, then Bob's just out of luck because I have a reason there. I have no idea if Bob's mom is lying to my mom in prison. She's going to tell me the story and I'm going to go, wow, that's amazing. I can't believe that he would be so dumb to do that. Then I come out and I say what I want to say and say, I have a reason to believe that Bob is lying about his foundation and his background. And here's what I know about Bob. So that's kind of an interesting point for an attorney to make, isn't it? It's kind of an interesting point that she takes in a 7-minute video. She points out quite specifically, well, if you know damn well that what you're saying, you can prove your side of the story, you may have trouble. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that's interesting that an attorney is making that point in a 7-minute video? It's not like she's on here rambling for hours and hours. right? She is at Kelly. She is a retired attorney. So she did, in fact, work for many years as an attorney. And then she retired. And then she was invited to go on Hidden True Crime to do like trial commentary. And they were together. They were friends for a year. So she's far below her title, family law. Okay, so you're a little bit skeptical of the whole defamation law because her specialty was family. Okay, I can accept that. Mischief all around my bestie. It's a high bar. It is a high bar. Yeah, it's a high bar, and there does have to be damages, correct? So remember, y'all, we don't know the truth in this channel. We don't know. We either like Lori Hellis and we listen to her channel, or we like Lauren and Dr. John and we listen to their channel, or maybe we, like me, I watch both, and I had zero knowledge that there was any trouble in paradise. I remember when Lauren let her go because she was popular. You know what, Fancy Nancy, she says that in this. And again, I have to point this out because I think this is something that I do when I listen to people. I hear their side of the story. I do take time to consider motivation. Like, why would someone say that? Why? It's not enough that they say it. It is, what's the motivation? These are smart people. These are accomplished people. They're not going to go out there half-cocked and say things, that might get them in trouble. This was a recorded video. We know that it was taken down. She might have edited it, or perhaps she needed time to make sure after going back over it, she felt positive about the legalities of all that was said. But it's 7 minutes. That is not much. And so I would pay close attention to what she did say. In a 7-minute video, it's not likely that she went off half-cocked and just kind of ran off at the mouth. She means what she says. Know what I mean? So, hey, join in late. I started off being Team Lauren on this. Now I just think they're all crazy. Then part of me wonders if this is connected to the people who Lauren has spoken out about in the church. See, Miss Cheese, thank you for saying that, because that's the first thing I did. When I found out who was involved, first thing I did was, are these LDS? Do these people live in Utah? How many are associated with Brigham Young or Arizona? That was the other one too, right? Arizona. And there are connections. So yeah, you know what I wish I knew? I really wish I knew if these people, this group of, I think it's 6 women, I wish I knew if they were connected to Melanie Gibb or Jason Mao. I wish I knew. But Martian, who's the damn king? That's what I want to know. I like both. Thank you, Modern Mystic. I like both. Lori Hellis is retired and not up to date on her CLEs. Many states now recognize the behavior as stalking or harassment, even without threat of physicality. She's spoken against some folks with power. I want to know if they're connected to the women. 100%. And let me tell you something. Jody Hildebrandt is an incredibly well-connected woman, not only to big names in the administration of the Mormon Church, but also in the names of YouTubers and content creators. So we can't discount who knows who. Like, what's the ultimate outcome if we think about motivations? And I don't know. I don't know. I'm actually quite shocked that this is all unfolding. I was really shocked to find out that Lori Hellis was involved. And I want to know who the king is. Who's the king? Can you tell us, Lori Hellis? Can you tell us, Lori Hellis, who is the king? Yeah. A sub named Paul Boone said that he was king. Right. Yeah, it is a rabbit hole, modern mystic. It's kind of crazy. Well, they came for Dr. John. They did, but I did put accurate information out yesterday, but then this video went back up. So here we are. All right, let's listen.
Even at that, if the person is a public figure, say a person with 317,000 YouTube followers.
Okay, let me go backwards here. Sorry. Okay.
In order to prove defamation, a plaintiff has to prove that the content was untrue and the defendant knew or should have known that it was a lie. Even at that, if the person is a public figure, say a person with 317,000 YouTube followers, that plaintiff has to prove actual malice. So here's the factual story. There's a YouTube creator who's a mean girl.
Okay.
When she's feeling threatened by some
Lori. I don't think you should have said that. Okay, that's my opinion. But speaking in terms of like credibility, I don't think it had the look that you wanted it to have. I think you would have been better off not to call names. What do you guys in the chat think? I know the HTC, but what is new now? Really question. Hey, Moxirella, like your name. I meant I don't think Lauren quit collaborating because of competition. I'm not sure Lori was that much competition to her, but that's just my opinion. What do you guys think about an attorney, saying someone's a mean girl? He is, yeah, I agree. No cult for me. I love how he recites literature. You can tell he's a good people. He has a brilliant mind. Yes, she's talking about John Matthias. A large platform with random subs pales in comparison to an intimate circle of industry colleagues. That is a great observation. Absolutely agree. Yeah. I mean, by the time you load up with 300,000 subscribers, how many have you actually even had contact with, right? Like, it's easy in our side chat. We can have full conversations, right? And we're talking to each other. But with 350,000, you have those chats that have like 10, 15,000 live viewers all talking in the side chat. Not much connection, right? Yeah, not much. She's calling her a mean girl. It just makes her look like the mean girl. Yeah. It is poor form. Ginger, I would agree. Only mean girls talk about mean girls. Tuesdays, we wear pink. Crystal, not good form, correct? Definitely should have been a foul. Very blunt. I would have said it too. Just ask my BFF. She should have said no, but some of us can't help it. Just comes out, doesn't it? Just pops out of your mouth. Turtle Boy and Glarer are taking a super misogynistic stance, while Duty Ron and Ed Wallace are taking an empathetic stance. All right. So let's. Yeah, I wouldn't have, I don't think I would have called someone, mean, like names, right? I think your message would have been better heard if you had not, called her a mean girl.
actual malice. So here's the factual story. There's a YouTube creator who's a mean girl. When she's feeling threatened by someone else's success, she goes on the attack, just like some of your old middle school friends used to do. I appeared on this creator's show.
Lori. So you call her a mean girl and you called her a child. And look at the look on her face. Oh, this is not good. Yeah. Hey, Modern Mystic. Thank you so much for being a new member. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. She's reading a script. Well, you don't think that's just her, that she's the one that wrote the script? You don't think that that she wanted to say these things and so she wrote it down so it would all come out? Yeah, she's talking about Lauren Matthias. Yeah, it is a low. So not only did you call her a mean girl, but you also said she was a child, a middle schooler. And she's a writer. Thank you. Yep, she's a published writer. And what good did you think was going to come out of this? That just lost the narrative, didn't it? That was not good. All right.
That plaintiff has to prove actual malice.
Man, I hate that.
So here's the factual story. There's a YouTube creator who's a mean girl. When she's feeling threatened by someone else's success, she goes on the attack, just like some of your.
And here's another question. Wait a minute. Let me peek at something. Hold on. Hold on just a second, okay? 8,000. Lori. Okay, y'all. Lori, and I like Lori. Okay, I listen to her. Okay, she's got 8,000 subscribers, 164 thumbs up. Okay, can we just have a really respectful discussion for a minute? Who in here believes that Lauren and Dr. John felt threatened by Lori's 8,000 subscribers? If you think that they felt threatened or that Lauren felt threatened, put a 1. If you think this is a very uncomfortable way for Lori to sort of be looking at the situation, put a 2. And thank you, No Cult for Me. Thank you for posting her link. I appreciate that. The only reason Lori has a channel is because Lauren brought her on to Hidden True Crime. Laura just knew she was going to make a fortune from the Daybell trials, so she sold her home and moved to Idaho. Lori Hellis sold her house and went to Idaho? Is that true, T Lemon? That is shocking. So it was about the Daybell case. Oh, wow. Look at those 2s. Gracious. Look at the 2s. That's amazing. Oh, King Paul agrees. Crystal said it's true. Damn. Oh, Fancy Nancy. Trust me. Mortified doesn't even come close. No, he has worked his ass off for his accomplishments. This is really uncomfortable. She moved there to write a book, and she was taking pictures in the courtroom one day and got thrown out. She was taking photographs. It sounds extreme to me too, Jackie. Holy moly. Yes, it was her story from Jump Street, so why not be a gatherer? Huh. She was writing a book about the Daybell case. Their views were very high when Lori H. went on her show. Thank you, Kathy. Daybell vibes make it make sense. Yes, she was writing a book. The judge threw her out because she was taking the photos. Damn. Carla said she stopped watching Hidden True Crime whenever Lori was on there. Now we know, Kelly. Judge would not let her talk. Sold her house, started drinking. Wait, am I wrong? Sold her. I'm going to put this up because I think I'm reading it wrong. Sold her house and something. Sold her house. Started drinking the hip replacement. Poor book sales. No real followers. Whew. Yikes. LDS plant. I wondered. Lori lied, said she did not take the photos. Cinnamon fireball. I don't know how to feel about all this mess. Do I have to pick cinnamon? I am not picking a side myself. So no, you do not. You stay right up there in that air on fire. All right? You'll be okay. We don't have to have a side. I think she was accused of taking pictures, but she proved that she was not. I remember someone getting thrown out. Yeah, I remembered just briefly the story. Her phone alarm went off. Oh, the phone went off in the courtroom. Be better, not bitter, Lori. I say that with the heart. And we still don't know who the king is, do we? We're still waiting to find out who's king.
Your old middle school friends used to do. I have followers. That plaintiff has to prove actual malice. So here's the factual story. There's a YouTube creator who's a mean girl. When she's feeling threatened by someone else's success, she goes on the attack, just like some of your old middle school friends used to do. I appeared on this creator's show for nearly a year as her legal expert. I liked doing it, and I thought we had become friends. However, when some of her early followers started saying that they only tuned in to hear my legal analysis, she decided to end our association.
Oh my God.
It was her right, and I said nothing about it. When people asked me why I was no longer on her channel, I either didn't answer or I suggested that they ask her directly. For 3 years, I stayed quiet, took the high road, and kept keeping on.
What happened to the high road? What? So she was feeling threatened by Lori Hellis's success. Yes, that is what she's saying. So why did you decide to get off the high road is an interesting question, right? She told a different story. Judge still wouldn't let her talk to him or be at the trial. This is nuts. It started when one contractor downloaded 6 years of private messages from Lauren in secret. Why the hell would someone do that, Carla? Well, like, what was the point of it? Yeah, so the surgery was like a hip replacement. This is not helping. Lori, I was gonna help.
I wrote a book about a true crime case.
Okay.
In early 2024, this creator somehow got a copy of an early version of my manuscript. And unbeknownst to me, and without my
Okay. Well, question. Who all had your early version transcript? Because when someone writes something like that, you guard it with your life, like literally your life. It gets stored on an external hard drive. You don't leave it connected to the internet. You know what I mean? You protect it. Why do you say that? Why do you say that like, it's like picking up, somebody dropped a ring or $100 bill and you happen across it and you just pick it up, right? Oh, look what I found. A whole manuscript? No, sorry. No, that manuscript becomes like your baby, right? It's the lifeblood of your spirit and soul. I am not being emotional here. I'm telling you the truth. It's very difficult to explain the transformation. You take ownership of that manuscript in a way that it is like its own living, breathing creature. So how would she just accidentally end up with your manuscript? That seems curious.
my permission, she distributed my copyrighted material to her followers. She gloated to friends about how she was undercutting my future success. She also began contacting my publisher, bombarding them with demands and claiming that.
Why would she gloat about essentially what would be a crime? Am I wrong about that? What is it? The Daybell property purchase. They split all the weirdness over how Hellas treated the deal. Wow. You guys know so much. I think he's such a decent guy, kind, sensitive, and safe. Lauren called the stalker annoying, and that started the mess. And the stalker started gathering people and telling lies. Carla, what do you think the payout is, though, right? So they called themselves the 7 Gatherers. Hey, guys, that was not very smart. I cannot even imagine. Even like knowing what happened with that case where we learned of the 7 Gatherers. Why would you think that was a good idea? Like, I question your mentality for that one thing alone. What the hell were you thinking? Someone bought the Daybell property to turn it into a park to remember the victims. Kay Woodcock was not consulted, and Lori Hellas came on and said, who cares what Kay thinks? Yeah, Miss Cheese, we're hearing it. Wow. Who cares what Kay thinks? The whole world cares what Kay thinks. She lost her brother. She lost her child. She lost another child that she loved. What do you mean? What? I need to know what her supposed demands were to the publisher. Oh, for God's sake, is that true? Who dressed up like Lori? Gross. You're gross, whoever you were. Yeah, so C-Star, Chad's lawyer was gifted the like a quit claim for the property in payment for his defense. My understanding was he turned around then and sold the property. October 2nd, 2025. The stalker said Lauren had a bad, she doesn't have a bad relationship with Kay. Chad's lot, yeah. Daybell cult vibes. I need to know what her supposed demands were to the publisher. That is a huge dig at all the victims of Lorhor and Chud. Yeah. There has to be more to this. Someone bought the Daybell property to turn it into a park. Okay. The publisher sends advance copies to key people, but it should never go out with a press release. She is trying to blame Lauren for bad sales and bad viewership. Who put out the press release, crying out loud? That's what it's all going to come down to, isn't it? It's going to be that damn book. So I have a question. Was Lori Hellis's sale of her house, was that money used to buy the Daybell property? I'm reading. Hold on. John said the property to some undisclosed person who said they were building a memorial park. That John B, not John Matthias, John, Chad Daybell's attorney. The stalker dressed like Lori Vallow and went to Laho's lawyer, former, golly, these women are not, that is weird as hell. I see, Wordle. There you go. Okay. All right. And so these things are happening with Lori Hellis, and you think that it was Christina and Lindsay and the other Lori that came and told Lori Hellis that Lauren got the manuscript. No, they're not going to. Simon and Schuster, trust and believe. Simon and Schuster is not sending out manuscripts preprint. Absolutely not. That would be the dumbest thing. No, they're not going to do that. Lauren addressed the manuscript thing. Let's see. In her 9-hour live, Lori Hellis was sending out advanced copies to get reviews. She asked her subs to review them. Wait a minute. Lauren asked the subs, the Hidden True Crime subs, to review the book, or Lori Hellis asked subs to do that? Messy. Guard that transcript with your life, girl. To be fair, going on 2 YouTube lives with large audiences and calling someone a stalker hundreds of times when they have not been charged with a crime is not a good idea. Stone. I mean, it could be actionable, right? I know. Oh, thank you, T Lemon. T Lemon says, everybody in here hit the like button, please. Kathy says, no, I've got it wrong. All right. Tell me, Kathy. I don't think so at all. She just bought another house in Idaho. Okay. The plot thickens. Let's see. Yeah, John Pryor, not Hellas protected the identity of the purchasers with a flaming sword. Martian planet, do we know now who the purchasers are? Has that been revealed? Oh, yeah, absolutely, Kelly. There's no, all is well. That's terrible to even suggest anything different. It's petty. You know, here's the truth of the matter. All of this with Kay Woodcock, Larry, Kresha, they're not prizes, you guys. Okay, they're people. They're actually human beings, and they have been devastated. Right? They're not prizes. They're not trophies that you get to take home and say, "Oh, look, Kay Woodcock likes me." That's just, it is almost psychopathic. Like you're showing no connection to the reality of their lives. They're not prizes. You don't get to claim that you're special because they're your friend. That is not appropriate on any level. They're, trying really hard to figure out a way to rebuild after having had their lives wiped out. So, we need to stop treating them like somehow they're, a prize that gets to go to the best YouTube creator. That's just, please don't do that, please. Everything goes back to money or sex, right? Or religion, money, or sex. Her book has a 3.8 out of 5 on Goodreads, and it is said to be repetitive, disorganized, and kind of boring. I watched that Netflix last night. Lori was something else. Lori's a wreck. Purchaser of the property was supposed to have been kept secret. Vision I get of a flaming sword. It is unhinged. The stalker is telling lies. That is what is so painful. I heard the lies about Lauren's brother, and what Lauren described is not at all unusual. It happens in intensive care units all the time. It's not unusual. They will make a decision to harvest eggs and store the eggs, or semen and store that. That is not unusual. And I don't believe, not for a minute, that Lauren said, "Oh, I'll, carry the baby." I don't believe that. That's silly. Stop that. Charles and JJ's family was very hurt by the idea of a park and not being consulted, which is absolutely understandable. Totally agree, Cinnamon. I don't feel like getting into a big discussion, but my daughter dated a guy who was LDS, and they got very amped up and excited over this eclipse that happened. It's her duty to check the sources. Absolutely agree. 7 gatherers sounds like followers of Lori Vallow and Daybell, right? And that's what I said at the very beginning of this, C-Star. If you actually picked the moniker 7 gatherers, knowing that 2 kids, a wife, and a husband were as brutally killed as anything we've ever heard of, why in God's name would you ever identify as 7 gatherers? Sincerely, that right there would be enough to make me say, I don't know, Lauren, that's pretty strange that they would take that name. They might be dangerous. You know what I mean? That is really, really tone deaf that anybody would think, oh, I got a great idea, is really not okay. From what I understand, they packed their bags. They were thinking that it was going to be the end of times. I told her to stay away from him until all that died down. They broke up anyway. Yeah, the call out, the great call out, all that mess. Yeah. Sorry, voice text. I sounded like cornbread. Lauren asked a fact checker to review the transcripts. Yeah, she and I'm going to be flat out, straight up honest here. I'm not sure that I would turn my 6 years of my private texting with family and friends, my husband, I would not give that to someone else to review. I wouldn't. So the fact that Lauren and Grayson talked about that, I think that is notable. And Sarah Boone was on Game Show, Holly. You need to thank the real God she broke up and upset. Yeah. I heard it was 440 something times calling her a stalker. $440 times. Question, Amy. Yeah, the word the stalker, that was everywhere, right? Did they ever name who the stalker is? Lori had an agent and a publisher who would have access to exclusive, expensive, and targeted email list of everyone in the industry. Interesting how there was a mass email smear campaign started. I mean, it is dark, right? It's scary. Did any of you guys read Lori's book? She acted like she knew who the purchaser was. Wow. Leave the victims alone. Absolutely. Turns out he was very mean and said terrible things. I had no idea. I'm glad you guys got out of that, Holly. And Lori called them my victims. Was she being facetious? I don't know. I don't know that, but is that what you mean? That she called them her victims? The pictures showing Lauren and John are good and fine, are actually pictures from an outing where they also had pictures done, same clothing, plus Lauren still looks like she's in the hotel. It's weird. Isn't it horrifying to think that one of us can be unallied or missing and these vultures would come for our families? Scares me more than me being unalived. Kelly O, get that mean girl under control. Lauren interviewed the victims and had compassion for them, so they trusted her and they became friends. Holly, I have an estranged relative that was kidnapped. Your future is hell when it's new. Ugh. I don't even think they try and get close to the families to solve the crime. I think they just want attention and fame for themselves, possibly. Based on my own observations, I felt there are feelings of entitlement and ownership. Oh, yes. Well said, Amber. Let me read that again because that was very well said. I feel there are feelings of entitlement and ownership of this case. because she was writing the book. Well said. It was worse what they claimed that Lauren abused her brother to get. Yeah, right, Carla? Yeah, no, that's just not even believable. It doesn't even, to me, it's not even good gossip because it's just so absurd. Yeah, agree, Jackie. I remember watching Lori's video where she was asking for subs to volunteer to read an advanced copy. So the subs could have disseminated it. Well, I'm going to tell you right straight up, Mean Girls, if they wanted to get a creator who was legitimate, who had clout, they might spread it under the name of Lauren, right? They might spread it and say, oh my God, look what Lauren did to you. Look, Lauren has got a lot to lose too. Here's something else to consider. A channel of $350,000. I mean, that's a career, right? That's not just YouTube. That's her career. She's got employees. She's got contracts that she's covering. You really think Lauren being a reporter, being in the industry, or John Matthias, he damn sure understands copyright and copyright law. I'm going to tell you straight up, a researcher absolutely knows the ins and outs, what you can do, what you cannot do. Do you really think she's going to take a channel where she's bringing in maybe 30, 40,000 a month, maybe? Let's see, that would be, about $500,000 a year. You believe this woman's going to put a income of $500,000 a year? You think she's going to put that on the line for pettiness? Absolutely no way does my logic. No. I'm telling you. For what? For Lori's 8,000 subs? Come on. Really? See, when you take time and you really start paying attention and you consider motivation, it becomes very easy to see the BS. Sounds like they're secretly Lori Vallow fans. Ooh, that is dark and nasty. That is the worst. The father was a doctor. The boy got my daughter really excited about getting her birthday present. He said, I'm bringing your birthday presents over. Come to find out, it was a silly game. Wow. Stuff like PMS medicine and things that were very belittling, insinuating that she was always on her period. Ugh. That's bad form, ladies. We got to do better. It's not funny to name a group after those people. Oh my God. It is dark and sinister and psychopathic, in my opinion. You're going to call yourself the Seven Gatherers after all that we know now about these people? You had one lady over there trying to conjure earthquakes, for God's sake. You know what happens during earthquakes? People die. So Zulema is literally praying for the earthquakes that will kill people. You want to identify? You want to be one of the Seven Gatherers? You want to identify with that nonsense? There's kids that are dead. Spouses, loyal, loving spouses, murdered. What about the kids that are just simply brainwashed? What about the kids that remain, but they look at Lori and the Chadster like, biblical, martyrs? No, you never want to be associated with 7 gatherers. It's just bizarre. The stalking stems from her showing up at places she was ordered by a judge not to. I don't quite understand that, Carla. So Lauren Matthias was going to go into the restaurant to eat, but the other girl was already in there. So why did she have to leave if she was the first one that was there? Yeah, I totally agree. C stars like Sarah Boone. What? She was on game shows, just like all the other good little narcissistic murderers. He was unnecessarily cruel. It was her first real boyfriend and hard to watch. I'm glad he is history. I'm glad too, Holly. I'm so glad. It's not funny. It's silly to name themselves that. Lots of people do silly things in these environments to handle the heaviness of the cases. I don't know, though. To call yourself 7 gatherers, it's just creepy and sinister. How ridiculous when she sat up there and said, no one was calling me, no one was texting me, no one was emailing me, just silence. I felt harassed, so I started messaging people, what is going on? Yeah, no, I sure. And you heard me earlier, Cinnamon, say that I was very paranoid when Duty Ron, as a nice guy, reached out. But I was paranoid because my brain was playing tricks on me because I had a crazy person that was doing things, right? So yeah, I see your point for sure. Glara's thumbnail shows Duty Ron holding a wad of cash. Wow, why would he do that? If she named the stalker, she could be in trouble for sure. I unfollowed her long ago after what happened. I was shocked to see Chad when I finally saw him. I was expecting Andy Garcia in the tux. He is the Chud. There's a reason that he's got that name. He is just a Chud. Yeah, there's lots of people that got named during the live, right? Like 6 or 7, right? Well, maybe it was 7, the 7 gatherers. Lauren never named the stalker. She even blurred out her face. Someone else suggests that it was Lindsay that is the stalker, but Lauren did not say that. Lori's book manuscript. Yeah, I just can't imagine letting that book out of your hands. Lauren's mother is in hospice. Oh, wow. Oh, no. I am so sorry. I didn't realize that. I'm so sorry. What a horrible thing to deal with while your mom is in hospice. I would be mortified if anyone read my text messages to my husband, the most personal of personal thoughts and feelings. Agreed, Holly. Absolutely. I heard from somewhere that Sarah Boone at one time was a good mom. That is very scary. Mean girls are vindictive, malicious, and mean. Okay. All right, let's listen.
I had plagiarized her materials, trying to hurt a true crime case. In early 2024, this creator somehow got a copy of an early version of my manuscript. And unbeknownst to me, and without my permission, she distributed my copyrighted material to her followers. She gloated to friends about how she was undercutting my future success. She also began contacting.
That's a big claim to make, isn't it? That's a huge claim. Not only is she describing one's actions, but she's also describing what she thought, like the motivation for distributing. How would she know that? That would be interesting. Like, on what is she basing those comments?
To prove actual malice. So here's the factual story. There's a YouTube creator who's a mean girl. When she's feeling threatened by someone else's success, she goes on the attack, just like some of your old middle school friends used to do. I appeared on this creator's show for nearly a year as her legal expert. I liked doing it, and I thought we had become friends. However, when some of her early followers started saying that they only tuned in to hear my legal analysis, she decided to end our association. It was her right, and I said nothing about it. When people asked me why I was no longer on her channel, I either didn't answer or I suggested that they ask her directly. For 3 years, I stayed quiet, took the high road, and kept keeping on. I wrote a book about a true crime case. In early 2024, this creator somehow got a copy of an early version of my manuscript. And unbeknownst to me, and without my permission, she distributed my copyrighted material to her followers. She gloated to friends about how she was undercutting my future success. She also began contacting my publisher, bombarding them with demands and claiming that I had plagiarized her materials, trying to interfere with my business relationship with my publisher. Then in May of 2024, someone sent me a copy of the email she sent out to followers with my manuscript attached. The person said they wanted me to know because they didn't think it was right. And when the creator found out, she immediately called the police to report that the person who'd sent me the email was the culprit. This creator claimed that that person had hacked her computer to send out my book. This is this creator's MO. When they realize that they've screwed up, they lie, they shift attention, they weaponize the police, and she plays the victim. During CrimeCon this year, she swore out a stalking order against one of her former friends, who's also a true crime creator. As a result, that person was unable to attend the event she'd paid for, and at one point was humiliated by being escorted out of the hotel by bar police.
Yeah, that's pretty
The
brutal.
hearing for that stalking order was started, and it then continued until October. In the meantime, the judge told the complaining creator that it is not stalking just because someone says mean things about her. This creator is not a victim. Her followers are. The people who believe she is a lovely person with a heart for crime victims are the real victims. The real victims
Oh,
are the victims of the crime victims who trusted her while she said vile things about them behind their backs. The people who are on fixed income.
what? That was pretty brutal, right?
Are the the crime victims who trusted her while she said stalking just because someone says mean things about her. This creator is not a victim. Her followers are. The people who believe she is a lovely person with a heart for crime victims are the real victims.
Lori, the real victim, the real victims, Lori, are the people that their family, their loved ones have been hurt in crime, like Kay Woodcock. Oh my God. Yeah, that was bad. That's hard to let. That's I don't know, y'all. What is up with some creators on YouTube becoming delusional and self-important once they get a following? Hey, criminality. That's a pretty uncomfortable statement, isn't it? She got the temporary order and then dropped it when she was supposed to go in front of the judge to prove her case. Receipts of those vile things, please. I agree, crying out loud. The stalker was everywhere Lauren went and filmed her. The stalker is not a true crime creator. She is a painter. She's an LDS mother with 4 children. She wanted to go to CrimeCon. She is wealthy. She is not a true crime creator. Yes, all of us true crime creators are very poor. Okay. You can't be a true crime creator and be wealthy. It's not allowed. It's in the rules. Isn't that right? Criminality. Yeah, I did hear that she was a really great, like she could draw really well. A group of 7 women coming for one person will cause trauma and paranoia. Paranoia is tough. Maybe this lady did share some material. If a copy of the manuscript was attached to a press release, then the person who sent it out originally was dumb. And then it's the publishing house that is the culprit, right? If you've got somebody that's putting out a press release and they either accidentally attach the manuscript or they just don't really know what they're doing and they think that's part of the press release, but we don't really know. We really haven't had that. And yeah. And why wait 3 years, Kate? Why wait 3 years, right? That's another excellent question. So now we're trying to find out who is the king and why do you wait 3 years to say my manuscript was stolen? Yeah, something is wrong here. This reminds me of a closing argument where evidence is irrelevant. However, I have no idea who are Lauren and Lori. Okay, so you're looking at Lori. Lori's on the computer. Okay, her name is Lori Hellis, and she is a retired attorney. She has a YouTube channel, and she does commentary on trials and crimes. Okay, Lauren is a journalist / true crime creator who is married to a forensic psychologist, and together they do true crime commentary on their YouTube channel. And me and criminality, we're real true crime creators because we're broke. So there you go. Now you know who everybody is. This lawyer lady has a big old chip on her shoulder. Devoid of compassion. Yeah, they're fighting. This is what leaves me with a bad taste in my mouth. I'm really disgusted by fighting over victims of crime. Like, they talk about Kay Woodcock like she's a trophy of some sort. Kay's my friend, she's not your friend, yada yada boo boo. I that's too much, that's just not okay. On a practical level, if you knew that line crime was going to monetize your private stalking trauma, wouldn't you be angry and say, no, if anyone was going to monetize it, it is going to be me? I would definitely make that move if I saw it that way, Quintessence. So thank you. That's a great point. The other part of it is, I don't know. It is such a messy. It's messy. I think it's curious that Lori Hellis, this happened to her 3 years ago. Why would she wait to now to exercise those demons? I think the timing is very curious. And does it correspond with Christina and the gang, the Seven Gatherers? Did they petition Lori Hellis to join the cause? Did they go and say, we got to fight back against Lauren Matthias? She's too dangerous and too influential, and the more people that we can get on board, the better off we are. Is that how it happened? That she decides after 3 long years publishing a book, and now she comes out? Something is curious. And we still don't know who the damn king is. Damn it. Criminality. Do you know who is king? Lauren stopped the case because it would be aired. So they were, to be fair, she didn't really know if they would live stream it, number one. More likely they would just be there, record it, and then maybe report on what happened. But nevertheless, I'm sure that it would be very chilling to consider that your private family business is about to get spread all over, the media, like we do to other crimes, right? Let's don't get on our high horse here. We got to be honest. So she said in her 9-hour live, she basically said she wanted to protect her family, and she did not want what she perceives to be like an abusive type of situation with the Seven Gatherers. She did not want that to be aired publicly, and it would hurt her child and her husband, basically. And so she took back her control and decided to put the information out there on her own terms. I think that's an accurate synopsis of what she said in that very long live. I think it's not true that she didn't have any receipts. She did put receipts out there. She did have information. But all the receipts, no. I think there were a lot of points that there didn't seem to be any. And then the other part that I would say is this. Why hasn't Christina and the Seven Gatherers, Lori Hellis, why have they not put any receipts out for what they claim? Why not do that? Wouldn't that help? Wouldn't that be helpful? I think it is. I don't think it helps Lori Hellis's position that she comes out calling Lauren names and saying that she's childish and that she's victimizing her subscribers, right? I think that That strikes me as emotional manipulation. Am I seeing that wrong? What do y'all think? Does that feel or look like emotional manipulation to you? Lauren said it's curious that unlike petitions to the judge, this one is somewhat anonymous and they cannot figure out who did it. Someone like Lori Hellis would know how to do that. I did hear Angeli, what's her name? Is it Angeli Levitt? Angeli something. I did hear her name get thrown into the mix, but we don't really know like in what way. Who was making accusations? There's a king in this shit show is my question. Cinnamon, you come over here and sit by me because I am chomping at the bit. Who the hell is the king? She, in a vague way, said that her son had experienced psychological and health problems, which were documented, and the filings were also going to be made public. Yikes. Mean Girls is illegal. The Tall does seem like a stalker, in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan. I'm going to tell y'all something in a minute. I'm not a huge fan of Lauren at all, but I'm trying to be fair. Me too, Holly. I'm trying to figure out exactly what this is all about. Quintessence, that's why I think this goes deeper into the LDS community. I'm with you. I think this has got the handprint of LDS all over it. Rumor is Anjanette Levy. Thank you, Criminality, for being my working brain. I appreciate you. So rumor is Anjanette Levy was a witness to Christina being escorted out of CrimeCon and then took interest in what was happening. But that is a rumor that I have not seen proof. That is very interesting, Teresa. Interesting. Crazy thing is, it did not look like the stalker has that many followers on TikTok. She probably does not, but her whole TikTok was dedicated to Lauren. It's gross. Maybe it's not illegal. Well, it would be considered slanderous if Lauren is able to prove that she made comments that could not possibly be true, right? Hellis is on the Glare. Oh, she's in the Glare's chat. Yeah, someone told me that the Glare said that he was going to bring down Lauren. And I'm like, come on, that's such bad form. Why do you want to go after? Don't do that. Leave it alone. One lady's receipts were bogus about the philosophy, the PhD. Yes, Kelly O. And if y'all can watch my live from the night before last, when I very clearly and factually explained Dr. John Matthias's education and his legitimacy, if you will. Yeah, Christina absolutely planted the seed that John Matthias is a fraud and that he is breaking the law by acting as a psychologist. So I encourage you to go watch the video from the night before last. So for me, that's one of the things that really makes me believe Lauren is if your complaints, if your people, if all that was accurate, if you're being honest, why would you need to undermine a professional psychologist? Why wouldn't you just keep him out of it? He wasn't even there. He's not even a part of it. She did it under the guise of, oh, and Lauren is so bad that she capitalizes on her husband's accomplishments. Y'all notice that? She totally did it just to get at Lauren and seemed to have no care at all that she was legitimately, professionally slandering a man who is a rock star. He is, make no mistake about it, where he went to school, the degrees that he got, the way that he works. Listen, guys, he does assessments and evaluations. He's a psychologist for the federal government. Man, oh man. You talk smack. I'm talking smack. Aromatic planter says I'm talking smack. I can talk smack. The problem started when emails of text were sent meant to affect their means of support, including her husband. That is stepping way over the line. The cops told her to leave CrimeCon because of the restraining order. They could have arrested her. Messy, messy. One of my best friends comes from a gigantic Mormon family. It is in her DNA, I swear. And she is so stubborn, so petty that she often hangs up on me, and I still love her. You're a great friend. That's the truth. Ashley Banfield is the huge creator that Lauren was so excited about in terms of her assistant going to work for her. For some reason, though, this assistant was upset that she was let go. Can you imagine being able to go to work for Ashley Banfield? Oh my God, I would embrace that. That's crazy. Yes, Chasing Justice, I believe, is the name. You can take the glarer out of the drama, but you can't take the crama out of the glarer. He likes to scrap. He's a scrapper. Remember when Lauren said her assistant was sharing things with other creators? I think it might have been with Banfield. Yikes. Yikes, yikes. I don't know all the characters involved, just trying to zoom out to see the bigger picture. Me too, Jackie. And who the hell is the king? Any of you guys have any idea who the king is? I just want to know. Exactly, C-Star. I thought it was Susan Hendricks. Okay, so the glare is going to play this video and go over it. Does UNC Chapel Hill have a reputable psychology department asking for a friend? All this mean girl backstabbing and shit talk drives me crazy. I appreciated that Duty Ron and Ed spelled out how the perpetrator has broken the law and that her behavior is not normal. They named themselves Seven Gatherers. That is all I need to know in terms of what's normal and what is not. Yeah. Yeah, and look, it's true. On this platform, professionals do kind of get targeted, right? They do. I don't mean targeted, like it's horrible and you can't stand up under the weight of it. It's just easy. It's easy to go after somebody and say, oh, we should get them in trouble. We should call their boss. We should get them fired. If he is a rock star, he better take down that video of critiquing Olivia's victim impact statement, because that was gross. Her impact statement was one of the greatest ever heard and seen in history. I myself, Cinnamon, I would have been cheering her on. It's like, take back your control, girl. Take it back. You betcha. You think the king is Tim Ballard? Yikes. Elvis was the king. He was the real king. But Lori Hellis says we're shooting at kings. All right. There will be peace in the valley. All right, here we go.
Real victims are the victims of the crime victims who trusted her while she said vile things about them behind their backs.
Okay, now we're getting accusations that Lawrence was standing up for victims of crime, but then behind their back, she was, throwing shade. Come on, Lori. Really? You know what? What if, Lori Hellis, that was true? Okay, let's just pretend it was. Why would you want to go to these victims specifically, the family and loved ones of JJ and Tylee and Tammy and Charles? Why would you want to go to them and say, I know that you think that Lauren is your friend, but she's really not. And I think you need to know that. I'm the one here to tell you. Nobody would do that, Lori Hellis. Nobody would do that, because victims should be protected from further harm. Oh, this is not good.
Until October. In the meantime, the judge told the complaining creator that it is not stalking just because someone says mean things about her. This creator is not a victim. Her followers are. The people who believe she is a lovely person with a heart for crime victims are the real victims. The real victims are the victims of the crime victims who trusted her while she said vile things about them behind their backs. The people who are on fixed incomes who still find a way to send her a few dollars every month, they're the victims. So,
I think both sides admit that Lauren said that Christina was annoying. I think the words were, she's just too much. She can be annoying. I'm not sure that equates to vile.
ma'am, it's not defamation if it's true.
Right.
And it's not stalking just because you don't like it. When people tell the truth about your vicious, unethical, dishonest, and unkind behavior, you're running scared because you're afraid that the 317,000 people who support your way of life might finally learn the truth about you, and you might lose your cushy lifestyle. You are a
That is okay. So in psychology, we talk about cognitive distortion, right? And there's multiple types of distortions, but specifically mind reading is one of the big ones. And you shouldn't do it because it leads you to believe things that are just categorically untrue. Engaging in mind reading just leads you down the primrose path. It leads you to the road to ruin. Should I use more of those? No, I didn't think so. You get my point. Cognitive distortions are what is at the heart of developing depression and anxiety. And sometimes when people are depressed or very, very anxious, or both, they can become confused. They can read the tea leaves incorrectly. You don't know, in fact, what Lauren is thinking or why she does what she does. You don't know that, Lori. You don't know that. That is part of your motivation. The reason that you have decided to come out and do this statement and do what you're doing is because you are imagining that Lauren is having these thoughts and motivations. But the reality is you simply have no idea what she's thinking. You don't. Now, your fantasy of what you're doing, that you're the crusader and you're going to come in and you're going to save all the subs, and all that, it kind of demands that Lauren be cruel and thinking about how she's in jeopardy because her 300,000 subscribers are going to find out that she talks mean about people and they're going to unsubscribe, and then she's going to have to go back to work. You don't know any of that to be true. It's a narrative that you have built for yourself that has now made you feel empowered to save the world. And so you're acting in a state that is, I mean, very possibly completely wrong. You see, I don't know at all what she's thinking or her motivation, and I certainly have no idea what your motivation is, but I do recognize cognitive distortions when I hear them, and I think it is poor form for an attorney to try to attribute thoughts and motivations to a person that really has a lot of accomplishment. There's a lot of positives that she can be judged by, right? And I think to attribute this really dark, nasty, horrible persona to her might just be self-serving. I don't see a white horse. I don't see, a white cowboy hat. I think this is a situation where women who are accomplished and competitive, strong women, I think they've sort of stepped on each other's toes. And at this point now, it's probably the wiser path to get off of each other's toes and move forward with no more fighting. This public fighting is tearing both, all of those involved are really losing their persona, their facade of professionalism. You are, and Lauren is. This is not the hill, I think, that you want to throw yourself on your sword. It wouldn't be my hill, right? I would want to remember, okay, wait, before I became a YouTube creator, I was a professional. And I worked hard to be a professional. And I invested a great deal of money and time to become a professional. And that's where I want to stay. I want to stay right there. That's the real me. This other thing is messy.
Middle school mean girl in an overfilled Botox grown woman's body.
Oh,
grow up.
Oh. No, you did not. Well, ladies, how are we feeling about that? Yikes. Okay, I'm working through this right now. Yeah, oops. Read the bell. Oops. Oops, there it is. I have very few pens, and I think it's probably for the best. You're my friend, Holly. Wow. Lord, God dang, Lori, man, that was brutal. That was rough. Yeah, so petty. Yeah, it was there. It's messy. Okay. She is angry at Lauren and is using it as a platform to attack. I'm feeling attacked. Got to make it about me. Okay, I'm going to go back a little. We're going to play this, and then you're going to get my non-shocked reaction, okay? The real me.
You are a middle school mean girl in an overfilled Botox grown woman's body. Grow up.
Okay, Lori, I'm going to tell you something, sister. I love Botox. Love it. It's great. You know what I mean? I like Botox. I love Restylane. Restylane is filler, right? It feels good to be able to put my makeup on and feel like myself. You know what I mean? When we age, here was my big problem. So I've always had high cheekbones. Oh, you were so sweet, You know what I'm going to do, Quintessence? I am going to go get me some damn Botox. Okay. Thank you for contributing to the cause. We are sisters. Okay. No, I'm gonna be honest here, okay? I'm gonna be authentic, right? Because I want to give kind of the other side of the coin. All right. So my whole life, I had high cheekbones, right? And when you have high cheekbones, your eyes look a certain way and your smile looks a certain way. And I like makeup. That is no mystery to you guys. Y'all know that I like makeup, right? I don't even think y'all have ever seen me, not one time in years, that I wasn't wearing my makeup. Okay. So when the first time that I went and got filler, it was, I know I'm old. I embrace being old. I don't care that I'm old, but I just want to look like me. I don't want to look like 20-year-old me, but I would like to look like the me that, I know how to put my makeup on because my face shape. So my focus is build up my cheeks, put a little filler in my lips, and put some Botox. And I don't look like I'm 20, and I'm not trying to look like I'm 20. I just look like I think I look, right? I still got plenty of wrinkles for everybody to make fun of me on, okay? So Lori Hellis, why in the world would you not only call this grown-ass woman, you called her a mean girl, you said that she was like a child, a middle schooler, and then you do the worst thing that an accomplished, intelligent woman can do. You attacked another woman on their looks. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lori. No. Who the hell do you think you are to sit in judgment of women all over who want to try, they have a forward-facing job, they have a public job, and they want to just look nice? Who the hell are you? You don't get, you as a woman you do not get the privilege to cast judgment on another woman's appearance. The only people, Lori Hellis, that is going to put a stamp of approval on me is going to be me and my Botox injector. Okay. Damn, girl, you pissed me off. Wow. Oh. I don't know about y'all, but no, she did not. She did, Kelly. She did. She damn sure did. And Kelly, here's the bad part of it. She's supposed to be one of us. She's supposed to be one of us. And look at her, the way she's talking. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Jamal, make a video on this. This is shocking. I'm shocked, Lori Hellis. Why in the world would you go after a woman on their appearance? Are you paying attention to history? Wow. Oh my gosh. I'm outraged. I got to use my skills. I got to get grounded. Got to breathe. Got to lower my blood pressure Andrew Huberman would be proud of me right now. That is simply crazy. Wow. Oh, okay. Holly said, I'm at Sonic right now playing with my mascara. Rock on, Holly. Buy that mascara by any brand you want and slather it on. You look beautiful. All right. Yeah, we'll listen to it again because I am outraged. Man, it has been a long time since I heard a woman go after another woman for their looks. That is incredible. And if you don't mind me saying, there are some telltale signs on the face of Lori Ellis. You know what I mean? Lori, I'm not so sure that you're using Botox, but tell the truth, Lori. Little bit of surgery? Don't be nasty to women, Lori Ellis. We have to stand up for each other and empower one another. This was bad form.
The truth about you, and you might lose your cushy lifestyle. You are a middle school mean girl in an overfilled Botox grown woman's body.
Man, I'd kick you in your shin if I was there. No, I wouldn't. I'm just kidding. I'm a non-violent kind of girl. But that was messy, Lori. Lori Ellis, that was messy. Ooh, nasty. Yikes. All right. Right, Holly? She is mad about something. Maybe we know. Maybe this was the actual truth. Perhaps she is mad because she is not as beautiful as Lauren Matthias. Aha, maybe that's the truth. Thank you for replying. Replaying the clip again. Her eyes move while she speaks. My assumption was wrong. That's all her. I think she's taken off of her channel, but Lauren put it at the end of her live. Apparently, she also released one right after Lauren's 9-hour stream, but she took that one down. Yeah, so I think this was the one that she put up after the stream and then very quickly took it down. I went live earlier today and I commented on that. I said, I think it's strange that she took it down, but on reflection, maybe she decided it didn't look good. And then she put it right back up. So I don't know if she was listening to the live or it was just weird coincidence timing. Loads of projection. Yes. I think she did not get the money and fame from the book. Well, if that's the case, then it's almost worse because she's holding Lauren responsible for something that wouldn't really be her responsibility, would it? See, Holly, we women, we know. And I knew I didn't have to say that because I knew some brilliant person in the chat would. Thank you. Thank you so much. Makes her seem desperate. Those brown lines, yeah. Strip lashes are crooked. Y'all are brutal. She's trying to inform us of something. She looks like she could be your mother, Jules. A little bit. No way, Ellie. I'm an old lady, girl. I'm an old lady. Yep. I'm an old lady who purchases Botox and Restylane and damn proud of it. That is why she came to Lauren and sold her house and moved to Idaho. That is crazy that she moved to Idaho. You remember my lip bee sting? It's like, damn, that hurts. Oh, that hurts so bad. Thank you. You know what, Ellie? My dad had great hair. My dad had beautiful hair until the day he died, 87 years old. Yeah, I thank my dad for my hair. Absolutely. Yeah, Carla. I mean, I've seen people saying that when she said, that people were saying that they only watch for her. I'm 92 years old, girls. How do I look? Is that Botox doing me good? That's so funny that you remember that, Yvette. So funny. She moved to Idaho because she is a gatherer, like the real gatherer, like Melanie and the others, all of them, right? The two Melanies. Wow, that's so scary to think about. Bald comes from the mom. Some women do. Some women do have female pattern baldness. Sage. No, you're a good girl. I would love to know what her chat was saying while all this was being said. I don't know, Holly. I just don't know. And I had no idea about like her subscriber count, or I guess I could look on well, I mean, can we be honest? Look at how she's looking at the camera right there. I'm feeling a little frightened. Let me go to Social Blade. And is she chasing justice, I believe? Chasing justice. Is that her? Hold on. Yep, that's her. All right, hang on just a second. Right here. Okay, so hold on a minute. Man, I am completely blown away by the Botox comment. Lori, what were you thinking? You should not have said that. My opinion. To the stage. There it is. Okay. Okay, so here's the Social Blade. I mean, look at the bump she's gotten. October the 20th, she's gotten 14,000 views. Normally she gets like 1,000. Like that's 84,700. Okay. So she got a huge number of views and lost 10 subscribers. Well, she gained 110 subscribers. Now she's lost 10. Interesting. Look at the damn view. Well played, Lori. Now we know your motivation. Look at this. October the 7th. She got 34 views, 25 views, 500 views, 250, 68, 51, 14, 63, 11. And then the 16th, boom, 1,259. The next one, she got 4,000 views. She lost subscribers, lost 20 subscribers and then gained 10 subscribers. And then 4,000 and then 2,300 and then 2,000. Wow. Getting nasty down and dirty. Does the body good, right, Lori? Making that money. Now, come on. Come on, Lori. You think Lauren Matthias is worried about you as competition? Look at your channel. That doesn't make any sense to me. This is not authentic, you guys. Look at that. No. Okay, so what do you guys think all this was? Was this back when she was going on Lauren Matthias's channel? 2023, 2024? I don't know. Y'all tell me. It's disgusting that these people are ageist. Having lost both my parents in the past 5 years, I realize how precious life is at every age. So very well said. Thank you. Can I just say that I stand behind Lauren, Megan, and Kresha. All three are stand-up women. What's some stand-up channels? Absolutely, Janet. Absolutely. Love Kresha. Haven't really watched a lot of Lauren because I've kind of fallen out of the Daybell Valo trauma, right? I just got weary of it. And Megan is always amazing. All of her stuff she puts out is super. Did she think she had a chance to be as successful as Lauren? Oh, no. It was the crime convention for all strike that got to her. Age is a blessed gift. Ellie, thank you. Well said. Absolutely. Now look at Hidden True Crime Social Blade. I will. Thank you. All right, hold on. Hidden True Crime. Okay. So she's a C+ channel, ranked 1,783. No lost subs. Views are 25,000. Okay. These are the monthly gained. August, she gained 18,000. End of September, 5,000. We don't have October yet. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's hurt her. 3 million, 5 million, 3 million, 4 million, and then down to 14 million. I don't know. Kind of crazy. All right. Yeah. Lori, I don't know how to spell her last name. Hellis, I believe. A legend in her own mind. I don't know. She said that Lauren would get really mad at her competition and then throw him under the bus. So it's not really what the data is showing, is it? I don't know. All right. But I just think look, I want to take out all the nonsense about being, hurting each other, the ladies attacking one another. Really, really and truly, Lori, why would you want to reduce down to attacking the way someone looks? That is really uncharacteristic for an accomplished, well-educated person, right? Who is the stalker? Well, Blue Bella, we don't know who the we don't know who the stalker is, but more importantly, we're trying to figure out who the king is. we don't know who the king is, and that's what I'm really interested in. Who is the king? That is the big one for me. I need to know who the king is. Okay, but Lori, you're kind of making it sound like you're the king. Is that true? Y'all, let's listen again. Well, to be fair, Lori, who exactly are you thinking is Lauren's competition? Are you suggesting that you are? Because I'm not sure that's true. How does someone with 8,000 subscribers and very few views, how do you compete against someone with 350,000 subscribers and the same number of views that ABC News gets? I don't really understand what you're trying to say here. See, I think she thinks that she's the king. I think what she's saying is that because of her knowledge, that makes her the king. Is that, what do y'all think? Okay, can you hear me? We can't hear you. Your screen is overlaid. Okay. I I do think she's saying that she's the king because she is the law. She knows the law. I kind of think that's what, when she says, don't come for the king, blah, blah, blah. I think that's what she means. Listen again. And I want everybody to put in the chat how you interpret this.
People who support your way of life might finally learn the truth about you, and you might lose your cushy lifestyle. You are a middle school mean girl in an overfilled, Botox grown woman's body. Grow up. There's an old adage that says, if you come for the king, you better not miss. When you start weaponizing the law to destroy your competition, you better be right, because there are a lot of us out there who actually know and understand the law.
So, what do y'all think? Oh, you go, girl. Do it, Holly. You still can't hear her? Yeah, absolutely. People tell me I'm old all the time. I'm like, congratulations, you still have your eyesight. Isn't Lori just riding her high horse naked into town? Like, we hope not, right? But maybe. The king of free speech. I mean, that's about all it could be, Christo. Veiled threats and double out. Yeah, the threats are almost unveiled, actually. She seems disingenuous using eye contact as a scare tactic. Yeah, please stop. Lori, you're not threatening. People aren't frightened because you look into the camera. And that is another good, I'm not going to call out the subscriber's name who said it, but it's an excellent point. Lori, I'll say it. Who's actually the mean girl here? You are giving a really, really good imitation of a mean girl. I don't think literally that you literally told someone who is in the media that she was an overfilled, Botox overfilled mean girl. That is not what she said about you or Christine or anybody else. She said she was sorry several times. She said she had apologized for what she knew. She said that she had given her phone to Grayson. Why are you calling her names and just being brutal? You hurt my feelings, Lori Ellis, when you started talking about somehow Lauren was bad because she gets Botox and filler. That hurt my feelings because I identify. I too want to look like myself. I don't want the effects of gravity all over my face right now. I still have wrinkles. I don't pay thousands to erase wrinkles. I don't do that. I just want my cheeks to stay up a little bit where they're supposed to be. But how is that me? Like, how is that a reflection that somehow I'm no good? Yeah, you owe a bunch of women an apology, Lori. Sincerely. Yeah, Janet. When you come for the king, you better make sure you don't miss. And I don't know who the king is. All right, but I'm willing to wait to find out. All right. So you guys are amazing. And I want to thank Modern Mystic. She has become a new member. Thank you so much. Holly, thank you, my dear. I appreciate your new membership. Quintessent, she is donating to my Botox fund. Thank you so much, my friend. Can't wait. Can't wait to get some more Botox. All right. All right, folks. Y'all are awesome. And we're a great, fun group of people, right? You really shouldn't take yourself too seriously, Lori Ellis. You lose your sense of humor when you try to elevate yourself above all others. You know what I mean? We know who the king is. Yeah? Don't step on my blue suede shoes, Lori Ellis. Stay off of those shoes. All right. We're going to have to write a song. I'm going to need to write a song tonight about mean girls, Botox, overfilled, badass women. All right. Who's there for it? Okay. I will return. Let's hope that this drama is on its way out. I am glad that we found some humor in some of this because I suspect that these women are not feeling at all humorous. But we don't have to live through secondhand trauma, do we? All right. Please hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please watch my videos. Please be awesome. I'll see you another day. Uh-oh, I got to start over. There we go.
Woke up at dawn with the pelicans in flight. Coffee brewing strong by dawn's early light.
Do it, Bluebella. We're
Waves whisper secrets to my open heart. The life around this water gets me off to a great start.
Oh, it's lovely, Sea Star.
Loud in the old palm tree. Dolphin smiles brighter than the Texas sun on me. We chase simple dreams, nothing fancy or grand. Just honest days in this promised land. God gives rainbow horizons to those in this happy lane.
Wild, for sure.
Diamonds dancing on the waves, back sparkling again. Honest living, a pursuit of peace. Family ties and the happiness we seek. Love, forgotten country running deep in our veins. Through the storms and the trials we break those chains. Good living brings the blessings we see. Rainbow horizons calling to me. Living each moment, giving truth from the heart.
Absolutely, Jackie P.
Deceptions woven, no false starts. Goes like a front porch swaying in the ocean breeze, watching the sunset fade away with pink and blue ease. Teach the young ones right from wrong with care. Hold them close when the world's unfair. In this Gulf Coast life, we find our way, building memories that never stray. Oh, rainbow horizons after the rain, diamonds dancing on the waves back again. Honest living in pursuit of peace, family ties and the happiness we seek. Love forgotten country running deep in our veins. Through the storms and the trials we break those chains. Good living brings the blessings we see. Rainbow horizons calling to me. When the night falls quiet and stars shine bright, I thank the Lord for this humble light, for the flag that waves and the grace from above, filling our hearts with endless love. No riches compared to the peace we found in the tides we ride and the love all around. No rainbow horizons after the rain, diamonds dancing on the waves back again. Honest living in pursuit of peace, family ties and the happiness we seek. Love forgotten country running deep in our veins. Through the storms and the trials we break those chains. Good living brings the blessings we see. Rainbow horizons forever free. Yeah. Your rainbow horizons calling to me.
All right. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it. And Lori, while no one's looking, I just wanted to let you know you seem to have misplaced your cheeks. You might try to go find them before you throw shade at other women. Y'all have a good day. It's good to see you. Bye.